Hello, respective Basic Leader Course NCOAs. The Criterion Writing Assessment is gearing up to be piloted in your respective Basic Leader course. This writing assessment is being performed as a result of the NCO 2020 survey, which indicated that writing is a major challenge for many NCOs, regardless of rank. Criterion provides immediate diagnostic feedback that will be routed to the Army Career Tracker on the Soldier's Information page, which platoon sergeants or squad leaders can view. The platoon sergeant or squad leader shall then use this information to determine a course of action for those soldiers who score 4 or below on the assessment. The idea is to gather this performance data that will follow the soldier as he or she progresses through their professional military education, where they will take the assessment again. The implementation of the writing pilot shall begin in January 2016 and continue thereafter until given further guidance from INCOPD. As far as the NCOAs are concerned, other than ensuring BLC students take the assessment, your involvement is minimal. You see, Criterion aggregates the data and grades the writing. However, later on in the video, I will show you how to go into your Criterion and view and export scores. Give the assessment on the first day of class. This is an in-class assignment to ensure the integrity and rigor of the assessment. For those students who cannot take the assessment on the first day of class, give it to them as soon as they are available. Most importantly, remember to ensure that an instructor or cadre monitors the student while he or she takes the assessment. The assessment takes at most 55 minutes, a 7-minute video, and 45 minutes to write the essay. You, the instructor, will give a start and finish time for the actual writing of the assessment. It helps to place the start and finish time on a writing board and then tell the students to start and stop. You, the instructors, are key to ensuring the rigor of the assessment. You have to ensure that students do not plagiarize their writing by copying and pasting from the internet, which is a problem not just with soldiers but with high school and college students in general. As a result, you, the instructor, must remain in the classroom while students take the assessment. Remember, the assessment is not a reflection of your academy. This is a tool that the Army will use to help those students who lack proficiency in writing, which is an invaluable skill that these future leaders will need as they progress in their leadership abilities. Also, writing is a requirement according to the general learning outcomes. Things to remember. 1. How students score on the assessment is not a reflection of your institution. 2. Give the assessment in class on the first day. For those accepted, give as soon as possible and be sure to monitor. 3. To ensure rigor and integrity of the assessment, always monitor those students taking the assessment. 4. Student access codes will be sent to you the day prior to the start of class. 5. Students can only submit their assessment once. This is why we highly encourage them to write their essay in Word and then copy and paste into their response box inside of Criterion. 6. Include your IT throughout this process to ensure the site can be accessed from the internet at your NCOA. 7. If you have any other questions, post your questions inside of MillSuite on the Criterion Writing Assessment page at https://www.millsuite.mil/book/groups/criterion-r-writing-assessment. Thank you again for collaborating with us. Now, let's go to the Criterion website to enter it as an instructor and to show you how to access the data on your respective NCOA. Type in the toolbar https://criterion.ets.org. You will need to create a new user account. On the Criterion homepage, find New User. Then create account. You will be mailed an access code a day prior to the assessment. This access code is to be used for you, the instructor. Enter the access code in the access code boxes. Type in your title. You can either use your DoD, ID number, or you can type in your last name and first name since you, the instructor, are not taking the assessment. Type in an email address, preferably your enterprise email address. And then confirm the email address. Type in a username. Type in a password. Remember, for non-students, the password must be at least 8 characters in length. The password must contain 3 of the following 4 types of characters: capital letter, lowercase letter, number, or special symbols. And also, passwords cannot be reused within a span of 5 password changes. Select a security question. Then submit the page. As you can see, it reads that my password must match. So I'll just retype my password. And then resubmit. If done correctly, I should see user account created successfully. From here, submit OK. If your user account was not created successfully, go back to the previous page and re-input your information and then submit the page again. Your page may display, do you want your web browser to save your password for this site? I highly suggest no, unless it's your personal computer. You're going to sign in as a returning user. Type in the username and password that you created on the previous page, and then sign in. Again, you will be asked if you want your web browser to save your password for this site. Unless it's a personal computer, I highly suggest no. You're the instructor, you're going to select the basic leader course for your respective NCOA. You're going to select the hyperlink. As you can see, no assignments have been given. But if they were, you would select reports. And then you would select the type of report that you would want. You can do a score analysis, an expanded performance report, an expanded performance summary report, or a submission by student report, or a Criterion score by student. As you can see, you have an extensive array of reports. If you go here, Home, you have a list of topics that you, the instructor, can browse at your leisure to become familiar with Criterion. I am going to sign out of Criterion and then go back into Criterion under an administrative page so I can show you what you, the instructor, will actually see when you enter your access code for those students who have taken the assessment. Allow me to sign out. You're going to see things that you didn't see in this page. However, I have privy to see because prior institutions have taken the assessment. So let's sign out. I'm going to select Basic Leader Course as you would. I'm going to select an installation that I know has already taken the assessment earlier in the year. Then you select Reports. And from here, we can access any of the reports, whether it's the score analysis report or the Criterion score by student report. So I'm going to choose to select the Criterion score by student. You can select the specific dates if you'd like. All levels. Because basically they are going to be at the college level first year. You can select all standards, all modes, and this way you grab all the reports, all topics. The Criterion scale is for 6, or if you're and all Criterion scores and the number of attempts made, any number, just so that you can compile all of the performance data. And also, select scores with and without advisory, because there are some students who might have advisories and we want to capture those as well. And then just select View Report. As you can see, you have all the reports, even the advisory report. An advisory is just for those students who did not follow the accepted guideline. And as you can see, some advisory scores have an actual score. And then you have some that do not. And these were students who did not write enough information, and then when they submitted it, it wasn't enough information to grade coherently. However, there's nothing that we can do about that. So what you want to do is to export the report to an Excel file. And as you can see, the Criterion Excel file has shown up. Now, what I would do to run this data, I would first clean up the report. They've got 5 out of 6. They've got 2 out of 6. And so on and so on. And I would just create an average for the Excel chart using a formula so you can see what the overall average was for the class. And we won't go into detail with that because that is an Excel function. And if you need help working Excel, I'm sure there's someone that's in your organization or that's on your staff who can help you with assessing the average scores for those individuals who have taken the assessment. Now, do recall that in the current assessment, students will not be using their names. They will only use their DoD ID number, and that way it interchanges evenly with ACT. Do you want to save? Of course you want to save, but I don't want to save it. So this is what you'll see when you go inside and you just export the data, and you, the instructor, you have the performance data just as the administrator would. And the administrator would be someone in INCOPD. That's basically the end of what you, the instructor, or the POC in charge would have at their disposal. Again, this information is sent to ACT, where the squad leader or platoon sergeant can use this information to help guide the respective soldier in whatever course of actions that he or she chooses. This is the end. I'm signing out of Criterion. Again, remember, how the students score on the assessment is not a reflection of your NCOA. It's just a tool that is being used to help guide those soldiers who write less than proficient.